Hey, what's going on YouTube? So I just reached 550 miles on the Street Bob, and I'm going to do a oil change between 500 and 1000 between before the first oil change. It was recommended by, it's just a general recommendation by people in the forums and stuff to do. You don't have to do this. It's just if it feeds your OCD type thing, you want to be safe. It won't hurt to do this, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. It was only $60 for all this. I mean, why not? And learn how to change the oil on the bike or something like that, for practice. So I got all these parts from the my local dealership. I didn't, search and buy it parts by parts, and I think this is not even synthetic. So for the 1000, I'm gonna go with synthetic, but for now, this is fine. So the parts you'll need is, of course, a socket, and I got this also from the dealership. It's special for this application because it has that notch. Perhaps it'll give you some room to not scratch your engine casing, I think. And also you need your owner's manual for reference, gloves, O-ring, replacement O-ring for the drain plug, and you need 2.5. So there's going to be something left over there. So I'm just going to fill it up with 2 first, and then slowly fill it up with the half, watching the level and things like that. So if I can show you guys, I think the oil drain plug is this one right here. It's kind of hard to reach. It's better if you have a lift, but if you don't, it's still okay. I'm just gonna make do with what I can. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward. So you fill it up on the other side here. So if you guys don't already know, I'm sure you guys already know that. So just gonna remove this. I already ran the bike about 30 minutes ago. No, I ran the bike for 30 minutes and I let it sit for about 20, maybe 30 minutes. So it's kind of semi-cool. It's still warm. So I'm just gonna leave it just gonna leave it open like that, just so just to get it started. And yeah, so I'll do parts by part, and I'm just gonna film it as I go, and hopefully I can be as complete as possible. But sometimes I might get into it too much that I just forget to turn the camera back on. So I'll see you guys along the way, and if you stick around, thank you for watching YouTube. So we're back. So I finally got the drain plug off. I came across some issues on this one because of my own. It's not the bike or anything or the procedure. It's just me not having the right tools again. There is not much access between the oil pan and the frame here. So you need a box wrench. So that's a simple fix. For some reason I don't have it. I have a lot of sockets that it just won't fit, So so I'm just letting that drain. That's basically the most difficult part so far. I'm gonna have to struggle putting it back on because I had to loosen it with a box wrench that barely fit. So I had a tool that barely fit. So I had a pass-through type tool here that goes into. Damn it! So that goes in this way, and that makes it's just enough clearance from the frame, from the drain plug and the frame. So I was able to crack it, just at least break it, and then I had to do this, very carefully, use this to loosen it. So it was kind of cumbersome, but we were able to get it done. I'm just gonna let that drain, and then I'm gonna open up the oil filter over here. I'm gonna be putting a plastic bag and wrapping it all around on the area so that it doesn't spill anything. So yeah, I'll come back when I'm doing that after I get that done. Alright, I'll see you in a bit. And actually, I wanted to just add that there wasn't much metal shavings as you would expect for something like a early oil change like this. There is some very fine, but not like huge chunks like in cars and stuff or other bikes. So this one's pretty clean. The oil is also pretty clean. It's just you know, some staining in here and there. I'm just gonna clean this up, wipe it down, replace the O-ring. You don't really have to at this stage, but you might as well. It's not even that expensive. So, all right, I'll see you in a bit. So we're about to replace the O-ring here. It's kind of hard to pick from the bottom there without without a dental pick or something of something similar. So by hand, it's easy. Just kind of put that there. Let me see if I can do it one-handed. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. And yeah, so there you go, the new one. So you're supposed to coat it with I'm gonna try to pull it out and coat it with some kind of oil a little bit on the surface, and then put it back on. That's pretty much it. And then it's gonna go back there once the oil is all drained out. It's still draining. So all right, see you again in a little bit. All right, YouTube. So we are going to do so we're on the oil filter here now. So let's see how this goes. Maneuver this somehow in there. Alright, so we're just gonna break this open, and then once it's loose, I'm just gonna put the Ziploc bag over the filter and spin it by hand. So that's gonna be our plan. Hopefully nothing spills. So I have all the rags covered on all sides here. So alright, I'll give it a go. We're moving on to installing the new filter here. So I'm just gonna get a dab of the trick, get some of the old oil and just coat the rubber section here. Just have it finger tight for now. Just make sure you spin it with your hand, not with a tool. So that's hand tight. We're gonna tighten that later with a tool. So we're back in a little bit. Alright guys, so I have the filter installed now. I just had it snug. I didn't use any torque or anything to this. You're not supposed to. Make sure to just you kind of have to measure your own strength. If you've done oil changes in the past, you know how much power you need to use to turn it. So there you go. I'm gonna go ahead and replace the oil plug back in the oil pan there, and then I'm just start filling up with filling it up with oil again. 2 quarts first, and then I'll slowly add the half quart. Alright YouTube, so we are now finally done after I cleaned up, checked the oil plug and the drain plug and the oil filter. There's no leaks, and 2.5 is actually dead on. I'm not sure, it might vary for other people, but I changed the filter, just drained it and refilled it. 2.5 about. I mean, it's right there on the half mark. When it's hot, after it ran a little bit. I haven't written it. I'm gonna ride it and then come back and check the oil again. So just keep an eye out on that when you do your own oil change. Make sure you follow the measurement. It has to be in the middle of the high and low. So that's around there. It should be fine. And other than that, it's pretty straightforward. It's very easy. It's nice that it doesn't have any fairings. So before, it was such a cumbersome thing to do. You had to remove all the fairings and things like that for sport bikes and things like that. But yeah, hopefully that helped you a little bit. I'm not sure how organized this is, but it's a visual aid nonetheless. So, all right, thank you for watching.